Hello, everybody or nobody. Welcome back to the Knights of the Lunch Table podcast. Definitely got it right the first time there. Today, since the Merica football was going on, we're gonna talk about literally any other sport because American football is boring. Fight me.
Jesus.
Well,
I would like to offer first another sport called football.
football.
No, not
Football.
No, not football. Not
Oh.
I'm talking about Australian football.
Oh.
Football.
This shit is played on a big ass oval field, like usually on like a cricket pitch. And it's basically there's 4 posts on each end, and those are like the goals basically. If you hit it in between the middle ones, or if you kick it in between the middle ones, you get, I think it's a 6, and if you hit it on the outside ones, like within the outside ones, it's 1. But the cool part about the sport is that you can fucking climb people to catch the ball.
Jesus.
Yeah, like if you look up videos, it's super awesome. You can like genuinely just jump up there and just put your knees up on somebody else's shoulder to catch the ball. It's
Giggity.
friggin'
Fair
nuts. But yeah, like if you watch videos, it's kind of funny. There's like an unspoken like general rule of like things you probably shouldn't do. So, like in hockey, there's the general rule of like keep your head up when you're puck handling or you're gonna get leveled.
Okay.
Well, in Australian football, it's don't chase the ball. Because there's so many times when somebody's chasing the ball and just gets absolutely blasted. But yeah, it's like a rubbery kind of football that they use, and it's like it's like oblong. It's like kind of rugby shaped, but it's small. And it's like I think something like every 15 yards they have to dribble the ball once as they're like running. Like if you run with the ball.
So they have to dribble an oblong ball?
Yeah, but they're like
That
really good
seems
at it. A lot
chaos.
of them. It's
That's
friggin' weird.
interesting.
Yeah, but like they're like there's people that just like dribble like it's nothing. It's so weird. Yeah, and I think if you catch the ball after it's been kicked over like a certain distance, you get what's called a mark, which is where the other team has to like back off and let you play it again. So like that's what a lot of it is. It's just hoofing the ball forward to a teammate so that they can catch it, and that causes a lot of chaos of like a bunch of players all going up for the ball at the same time. But in order to get a ball, like in order to get a mark, you have to catch the ball cleanly. So like, yeah, it is a lot of
You gotta
crazy.
stick the landing.
Just like, well, no, you can land however you want. You just have to like, it has to be like in your grasp, like firmly kind of thing.
Firmly
grasp.
And and the way they do like a kickoff or like a throw in, like if it goes out of the boundary line, is the ref will grab the ball, turn like back to the field, and just yeet the thing over his head. It's so
Yeet.
fucking funny. Like, and some of the refs like really chuck it. Like
Oh,
they
like how
almost
they do
fall...
like the football launch,
football. I don't know what that is.
where they like they'll roll onto the ball, they'll land at the line, and the centrifugal force of them rolling with it. Just
Oh, like a
launches
flip
it.
throw in? No.
Yeah.
That's trash. Actually, that doesn't work that well. So
I thought it was cool.
sorry, that's a side tangent. But yeah, actually, like soccer throw-ins, like the flip throw doesn't really provide that much more power. Well, actually, any more power than just like throwing it well and properly. Like a person that a person that can just throw the ball well and properly can get just as much distance and more accuracy than somebody doing a flip throw.
Oh, okay.
Just because the mechanics of how their body works. But anyway, that's beside the point. But no, this is like the dude turns his back away from the field, just stands there flat, and just chucks it backwards like a fucking bouquet at a wedding. But yeah, and then everybody like tries to jump and grab for it, and it's a lot of fun. and I think the kickoff, like at the beginning of the game, the ref like bounces the ball off the ground as hard as he can, basically.
Fair enough.
So he just like takes it and just like slaps that shit down, and everybody has to jump for it. It's one of those sports that's like really weird. Like it makes no sense if no one's there watching it with you to explain some stuff.
Yeah.
But like once you figure out what's going on, it's a lot of fun to watch. The only problem is that it's on at like 3 or 4 in the morning because it's in Australia.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to start a petition to have them play like super early in the morning so I can watch it at a regular time.
Yes. There's a petition going around for one fan in America.
Hey, Carl would sign it too.
Okay, 2 fans on the West Coast to watch this obscure sport.
Also, does that sport have like an actual name, or is it just Australian football?
It's just Australian football. Like their top league is called AFL, which is Australian Football League. But it's actually not obscure. I think it's like the most watched sport in Australia.
Well, yeah, because it's Australian football.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, they pack
There's not much they can do
crazy.
without getting attacked by an animal.
Like, hey, oh my god. I'm sorry, any Australians that are listening. They do the same thing to me because I live in Arizona.
I'm not apologizing for Arizona. That's the devil's playground over there. Let them be.
It's America's air fryer.
But yeah, like, let's see.
Sorry.
Oh, not. I don't want A-League. I want, like, actual. Okay, there we go. Let's see.
Well, this can get cut out.
Yeah, a little bit. So, yeah, they like hella pack the grounds too. Like, I'm trying to find something. God damn it.
Invigorating.
Very.
What the, why is
so glad this was the topic of conversation.
Shut up.
Right?
It actually is interesting.
Shut up and watch.
Or just waiting for Tyler to find his stuff when...
Pretty much.
Yes.
Like, I don't really know much about sports as it is, so I don't really know what I would say. So...
on the plus side, well, I guess we're waiting. I think I may have figured out the Minecraft server thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So attendance is averaging 30,000 for ongoing, so the AFL apparently averages like 30,000 plus people in attendance. So like it's actually like a big
per
sport.
game.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, which I mean, like I think NFL has like bigger attendances.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know because I don't really watch sports.
But I mean, there's also. Yeah, it looks like the top teams in NFL are averaging like 70 plus thousand about there. But I mean, there's also a lot more space in Australia, so.
Yo, not to dampen the mood, but so I'm testing the Minecraft server. First thing I see is mermaids. I don't know if I should go near them or not.
That's probably fine.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Oh God, what the? Never mind. I didn't have to go towards them. They dragged me towards them.
Oh wait, actually, yeah. Wow, that's actually apparently
cool.
the AFL attendances have also dropped due to, the thing and people having concerns over the thing.
The thing.
But yeah, there's some times where they've had like 100,000 people at like a game. It's nuts.
Damn.
Yeah, also cricket. Cricket is also enjoyable if you know what's going on.
Yeah, that's always been a confusing one for me.
I find it more interesting than baseball because like the game keeps going quicker.
And that's what I've heard. But like, I think my biggest question is about like the mechanics of the bases and how that shit works.
Okay, so what that is okay. So first of all, if you hit it over the boundary on the fly, that's 6 runs. You don't got to run anywhere. You just get 6 automatically. If it goes over the boundary on the ground, or like touches the ground at all, that's 4. Same thing. You just automatically get runs. If the ball is in play, every time you run to the opposite side, and like cross the line, that's 1. So like you run all the way across, that's 1 run. We'll run all the way back, that's 2 runs.
So is it like any movement is a run, or is it like in baseball where you got to get back to the home base?
No, so it's just running. So there's no bases. There's like a wicket on each side, which is the sticks.
Okay.
And there's a line in front of those, and you have to like run across, run along the fucking, I don't know, bowling path. I don't know what they call it, but you run along that to the other side, and touch across the line, and that's 1 run. And then you go the other way, it's 2 runs,
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically just however many times you can go back and forth on that.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a few more, like, smaller rules and stuff, but those are easier to explain, like, in context when you're watching. But yeah. Cricket.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have it?
God, what the hell?
I mean, I can keep talking. I have plenty of, like...
No.
I guess obscure for Americans things that I watch.
I have one major question, and I mostly want your guys' thoughts on this more than anything. So we are all very well aware of how weird, and I know this isn't sports per se, but Japanese game shows. Can we talk about how weird some of them fuckers are?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are kind of goofy. I can't remember what it was, but it's basically like you pick a number. There's one that I was watching. It's like a bunch of people like sitting up on top of a stack of boxes, and you pick a number, and whatever is under that number is what your section of like the wall of boxes gets assaulted with.
Oh god!
And it's like, and it's basically like whoever's the last one standing wins.
Well, like
they have like bungee cords and stuff on them, so they're not gonna like fall to the floor and just break something. But
there was one game show I very vivid, like not the show itself, but one event that was happening where, like, and I've seen this on YouTube. A lot of people do it, but they'll wear like jumpsuits or onesuits. They will actually get like oiled or lathered up, and then have to try to vertically climb up like a tarp. That's like
I've seen that one.
And that shit, I'm like, okay, and that shit's
like
always been
like throwing objects at them.
Yeah, and in my eyes, that's probably the most normal of the ones that I've seen. Because like, god damn it, English. At least for me, what I can remember, like growing up, not near any major TV channels or anything like that. Late at night, I'm turning that TV antenna, trying to find something, scrolling through the channels, because back in my day, we didn't have, dishes and shit. Or, like, dishes and streaming service and all that. Now you can find this shit anywhere you want, but it was just... I'm the youngest here.
Okay, boomer. God, I love okay, boomer, because you can just keep saying it forever.
After a while, fossil or whatever. Anyway, but I just remember late at night always finding that one weird channel that's got the weird Japanese game shows, and it never made sense living in the Midwest why we were getting Japanese game shows. Yeah. But
I used to watch Takeshi's Castle. That one was fun, and I can't remember if it was on that one or or a different one. But one of my favorite events was it'd basically be like there'd be like 3 doors. And, like, only one of them was, like, like one of them would just be, like, paper. And the other ones
we were talking about that.
Were, like, actual, like, wood. And, yeah. And for some reason, the people would just, like, charge full steam at it every time.
Full sprint.
And, yeah, occasionally they just hit the, like, solid door and just bounce off of it. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Calm down.
Be dedicated.
I mean, I guess.
No, you don't. The one's paper. You can just kind of jump into it and it'll break. but I mean that wouldn't make as entertaining of television, so I kind of get that.
Yeah. Exactly. Have you guys seen the one where? I've seen one where it's like, is it real or is it chocolate? Where there's just a bunch of things around the room, and they have to bite into it to find out if it is real or chocolate.
Yeah, people just like biting door handles and shit.
Yeah, like a shoe. They just like bite into it, and it's just like goes right through it.
Yeah, and some of them are like, some of those people like just go in on everything. I'm like,
just, and it turns out like, bro, you just bit a glove.
Biting into a coffee table as hard as they can. Like, what are you doing?
That's mahogany. No.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
I wonder if there's anybody that can do that. So you know how like wine sommeliers like allege that they can like tell, like there's some of them that are like, oh, the pH level of the soil for this wine was whatever. Because they're fucking nonsense.
We're not talking about that.
Sommelier stuff is the most bullshit. But anyway, I'm wondering if there's people that can do that, like, accurately, but, like, with wood. Like, can you taste it and know what kind of wood it is?
Yes. This wood was out of the forest behind my back.
No, not like that. Like
well, no, I was gonna.
Year 1901.
Can you just chew on it and be like, oh yeah, that's oak, or chew on another and be like, oh no, this is a sequoia. Like
a lot of the time,
people can just figure it out by like looking at it.
I would say the smell actually has been
but
for
the
a lot
point
of
is can you do it by taste? That's what I want to test. Take everything else out of the equation.
I'm sure there's someone out there that probably could.
Oh,
yeah. I don't think many people thinking about chewing on wood.
Seeing how there's a lot of different varieties of trees up in Oregon,
we are not doing that.
I mean, I'm already. If you want to try it.
Yeah, I'm doing the spicy gummy bear. You're gonna eat wood.
I'll do
You're gonna have to sign a disclaimer that it's not our fault if you get an injury.
I'm not gonna eat the wood. I'm just gonna chew on it. I'm not a friggin' Neanderthal. God.
You're still gonna have to sign the disclaimer.
Yeah.
So anyway, back
to sports.
Sports stuff. So you guys know Formula 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's overrated.
Vaguely, yes.
It's overrated and kind of boring because you know who's gonna win pretty much every race. What's not overrated and boring though is a similar series called Formula E. It's like 100% all electric races, or like all electric cars, which is kind of awesome and crazy. But yeah, they actually go like really fast and everything. Like they go well over 200 kilometers an hour, and like, hang on, let me translate that to freedom units.
Freedom units.
1 second. Okay, maybe a few seconds. It doesn't. Why are you copying to clipboard? No, search, you stupid. Hang on. So yeah, they get like well over 100 miles an hour, which isn't like hyper fast. I get that, but for an electric car, that's still pretty fast, and it is like what does a Formula 1 car even reach? Just so we have like a comparison.
I think like 225, wasn't it?
Let me check.
Like I know those things reach like over 200.
218.
Okay, so a little off.
51 kilometers per hour. Well, and that's not even like the top speed. That was just like this most recent race. That was what they got to. Yeah, like Formula E cars can reach up to 200 miles per hour. Yeah, in races they're generally getting to like 150, 170 at their, highest straights. But yeah, it's super awesome to watch, but there is one problem. Everyone complains about the goddamn noise because like it's a high-powered electric. Well, it's a high-powered electric motor, so it like screeches, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like as they're going around a track, it's like a ee! And people like bitch and moan about that, but like I don't know. Just if you can like if you stop focusing on it, it like kind of starts to drown itself out. And like you don't even hear it anymore. Especially if you like recognize that there's other sounds like tire squeal and stuff like that going on. But yeah.
Yo, real quick, can we talk about like motorcycle racing? That shit is scary.
No, those people are crazy.
You are riding around on a little two-wheel thing that are going as fast, or almost as fast as Formula One. All you have to protect yourself is a bodysuit and a helmet, and these fuckers run over each other whenever there's an accident. Like,
yeah, I've seen times where like somebody's going like about to go through a chicane, and like they fall off their bike and they just skid through the track.
Oh yeah,
and they like slide through. So like they'll slide through the track, then go off of the track because it's like a corner, and then go back onto the track because like you can't control your sliding really. And they go all the way. I'm like, oh my god.
And I remember hearing somewhere, and I may be just talking out of my ass here, but I've heard a lot of them train to like when they fall off their bike to not go fetal, because the problem is that bike is still running over you. Your idea is to body slide out of the way as fast as you can, and then go into the fetal position to block yourself.
Yeah.
Because, like, no matter what you do, if a bike's running you over at 200 miles an hour, you're going to feel it. Moving your arms in front of your chest ain't going to change shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there's, like, I think they do that as well to make sure that they get off the track.
Yeah, as fast as possible.
Yeah. But, yeah, that shit's crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, they do train to... Or at least practice how to slide properly.
Yeah. But that shit just boggles my mind that people sign up for that shit.
Yeah. Y'all want to do a rally race?
I forget what rally racing is.
So that's when you go on a road in the friggin' back country, middle of nowhere.
Oh no, fuck that.
On a road that's like 2 inches bigger than your car on each side, and go 150 miles an hour around corners.
No, I've seen those videos end badly. I'm good.
Yeah, those people are crazy.
And all of them are doing it in like a little beat up, fucking barely functioning Subaru, and you watch them fly over ramps like these dirt road ramps.
It's not actually that they're not functioning; it's just they're optimized for that and not for like top speed. They're optimized
like the
to be
second
sturdy.
they crash, that car like physically falls apart and explodes outwards. Like, nah, fuck that.
Well, actually, a lot of racing cars are designed to do that.
I know, that's why I don't want
supposed to fall apart.
Yeah, that's why I still don't want to get involved, because the other problem is all the motherfuckers sitting by the track watching you fly around this shit.
Those people are friggin' crazy. I've seen people like on the outside part of like a sharp high-speed corner, and I'm bro, if they come in with a little bit too much speed, you're flattened. What are you doing?
You're done. You are unalived. That's the end of it. I don't know why you are inches from the track.
Yeah, I'm like, you people are crazy. Well, and then, there's some videos that I've seen where people are actively, like, on the course until a car is about to come, and then they move out of the way. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Like, okay, set up your recording equipment, then that way all that breaks is a $400, $500 camera and not, the upper half of your body.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's just a crazy thought.
I think I saw another video. I think like a dog ran out onto the track or something.
Oh.
But it was like right after basically a crest of like a hill. So the car just like shoots over it. Yeah. And I'm like, "Oh my god."
The absolute brass ones on that dog.
Why?
Even though the dog didn't...
Yeah, I'm like, does the dog even realize what the fuck just happened? Like,
that dog was inches from death and just thought, oh, this looks like a good spot to lay down.
Just be like, well, that was a weird noise that just happened, whatever that was. But yeah.
So yeah, Kyle, you got anything?
So the only real sport that I know the most about is soccer. Or
he said
football.
soccer! He said soccer! Assault him! Assault him!
Assault him in the comments.
So it's still safe.
Well, no,
assault him in the comments.
If I wasn't in America and I said soccer,
wait. Here's the thing.
Yellow card.
Here's the thing. Soccer isn't even an American word. Did you know that? The British came up with it. It's their own goddamn word, and they like chastise other people for using it. It's an abbreviation of association from association football, which is soccer. So, like, weird. They make fun of people for using the word that they created. So if there's any British people listening, fuck you, I got your number.
That's weird.
Well then.
Anyway, I've taken to calling it football just because that makes more sense for me. And then I call American football Merica Ball.
Merica Ball.
Which is weird, because I've said that to people that have never heard, like, I haven't described what that means, and I say Merica Ball, and they immediately know what I mean. So I think we should just change the name of the sport to Merica Ball.
Merica Ball. I think we'll start the petition here. We have 2 votes. Kyle, are you in?
Yeah, why not?
All right, we got 3 votes. Everyone listening at home, let's start this shit.
I'm gonna go on to
just
petition.
know you've automatically signed it by listening to this podcast.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna go. Oh, sort of like when people like just hear about, but don't necessarily acknowledge or agree with the Burt team.
You're lucky I'm cutting this section out.
Whether you like it or not, if you know about it, you've served your purpose. Yeah, we're gonna go to petition.org or whatever the website is, and we're gonna do that. Try to get the NFL changed to the
Merica Ball Association.
NML. Jeez, that's
no. I think it should just be Merica.
Maybe NMC. That sounds easier to say. National Merica Ball Conference.
Yeah, NMA sounds good. Or NMC, yeah. NMC, NMA, anime. just to piss everyone off.
Oh, wait, you could do MBC, Merica Ball Conference. And it's one letter off of the news, the TV station.
TV station, yeah. Welcome to the MBC on NBC.
Jesus Christ. So, you know what's stupid? A really stupid sport, other than Merica Ball, is...
baseball.
Well, in my opinion, is handball. That shit cannot be that hard. Like, anytime I've watched it, it's like, it seems like they just have... If anybody plays handball, feel free to correct me. But it seems like they have just the dumbest people playing it all the there's like basically no strategy. It's just jump at the line and chuck the ball at the goal as hard as you can. Well, I'm like, why? You almost never see anyone like do like a fake or anything like that. Or like go jump like you're gonna shoot and then toss it off to a teammate so they can shoot. Like, nobody ever does that. They always just jump straight at the goalie and throw the ball. It's dumb.
Sure. I don't really know the sport you were talking about.
Yeah,
so.
I don't fucking
know. You haven't seen handball? Okay, so handball is basically, I guess indoor soccer with your hands, effectively.
Like, so it's like you're just throwing a soccer ball around?
Never mind.
I think it's like you can only go at like so many steps before you have to pass the ball to somebody else.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thought with like Ultimate Frisbee is you are given a small amount of room to like catch the ball, reposition yourself, and then go.
Well, no, like I think you can run a few steps even, like so it's less restrictive than Ultimate Frisbee, but like. Yeah, like, there's straight up people, like, oh my god, I fucking hate it so much, it's so dumb. But anyway, Also, I think the ball has, like, sticky stuff on it, which helps to catch, which, to me, like, why are you making the game easier? Make the ball smooth. Like,
yeah.
Make it a challenge to catch and hold and throw and shit, like...
Even grease it. No.
Exactly. You know what? As a matter of fact, grease the floor, too. Fuck it.
Oh, God.
What is this turning into, a Japanese game show?
Yes.
Right. Just grease the people, grease the floor, grease the ball.
Vaseline literally everything. That's a fucking sport.
The greased up deaf guy.
Yeah.
Can't catch me.
Yeah. That sport I do not like.
Can we get a petition to make
the podcast is going to be all about what Tyler doesn't like in sports.
Well, and what I do like. I talked about what I do like.
Can we get a petition to actually make Quidditch a real sport?
Not that stupid shit that college kids play. That's dumb. We need to
the thing where they have the broomstick and they're running with it between their legs.
That's dumb. We need to take like I'd be fine if we take the concepts of Quidditch and alter them to make sense in real life.
Yeah.
Like the three hoops all being different goals. I kind of like that idea. You know, like you could have the middle one that's like higher and the two lower ones off to the side, you know, so that the goalie has to like really fucking move to defend them.
Yeah.
Like that's a cool concept. We're getting rid of the fucking golden snitch because that's retarded.
Yeah, that seems a little
like especially like the 150 points bullshit. That basically defeats the purpose of playing the rest of the game.
Yeah. The whole game then at that point would be, you know, help the seeker get that. That's exactly. The whole game.
I was just gonna say that too. Like, why has that never been a thing? Why, like, I mean, I'm sure there is in the fucking extended universe or whatever, but like,
I'm sure there's probably like a rule that like you can't just like go after it unless you are the seeker.
What? Yeah. Right, but how do you enforce that rule? That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be like, oh no, I wasn't chasing the snitch. I was just trying to get into a better attacking position
by following the
I just happened to be following the stupid thing. But yeah, it's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, if that were the rule, then it would make the most sense for there to be at least one or two extra people flying around just keeping an eye on where it is or like looking for it, you know?
It could be the first sport played while riding those hoverboard things on wheels.
Jesus Christ, no.
No, we are not.
You just have to ride those around the whole time with a ball.
No, absolutely not. Kyle, you are banned from this sport. Yeah. Stop.
Like, I wouldn't mind like rollerblades or something to make it more challenging, but...
Or find a way to do like a singular ball on the bottom of your foot that's like an omnidirectional ball. I think that would be kind of cool to see.
We'll see.
That's relatively rollerblade.
The problem with an omnidirectional ball is unless you have like thrusters of some sort, there's basically no way to move.
Well, and again, in time, technology can get to that point where it's like, oh yeah, I have a small 1 horsepower thruster on the back of this fucking gear, whatever it is. But
nah, I think just stick with rollerblades or just running. But yeah, something like that I think would be cool. Oh wait, but the goalie doesn't have to have rollerblades because that helps their mobility, like being able to move side to side. I like that idea, since they have to move more. But they're not allowed to exit like a certain area. Like
That's
fair.
To
stay within, certain range. Yeah.
This episode brought to you by Gold Bond. I'm kidding. We're not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. But yeah, I'm just saying. I think that'd be a cool idea. I kind of want to do that with like other sports too. Just like I can't think of any. Fucking Christ. Like airball in from fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ooh yeah.
Like
make
something
fictional
like
sports into an actual
Just do that type of shit.
I would say there's
what's the sport in
Legend of Korra?
In Alita.
Oh yeah, that rollerblade one where you're trying to put the ball into like that socket hole or whatever.
Yeah, that one minus the murder, I think would be kind of.
And there's
cool.
like ramps and whatnot that you have to go over.
Yeah,
basically
Battle
like a
Angel
skate park
Sports.
with a
Motorball.
goal.
It's called Motorball, by the way.
Oh,
okay, yeah, I couldn't remember what it's called, but yeah.
The street one I'm thinking of. With
that
the
type
but
of
it's
shit
like
without,
a huge racetrack
without
with
the murder.
like goals and whatnot.
Interesting thing.
People
I've never
have
actually seen that
weapons.
movie.
What?
I've never seen that movie.
It's on Hulu right now.
Oh.
I mean,
My Hulu subscription is currently whack.
I mean, it's also a manga series, but
I mean, yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as I understand, I haven't read all of the manga, but from what I've seen, it's pretty good, like, analog for it. There's things that have changed, obviously, but it's one of the few, like, things that's been made into a Western film that wasn't ruined completely.
Yeah, I actually thought the movie was
Death
pretty
Note!
good, but...
To be fair, a lot of the newer, like, adaptations have been really good. Like, all the Sonic movies were really good.
Y'all remember the original Sonic?
Oh, God.
That horrifying creature.
Off.
But anyway, sorry, I coughed earlier. What I said was Death Note. Again,
The fact
that's one of the funniest bits ever is to, like, cough and say something, like, you know, to insult it or whatever, and then a couple seconds later be like, sorry, I was coughing. What I said was... and then actually just shit on something. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about water polo?
It's a weird sport.
Yeah.
Even, like, polo in general is weird.
Kind of cool.
I don't really understand how it happens. You're just trying to, like, wade through water and make a goal.
Well, it's... Oh, God, I'm trying to think of how to explain it.
I don't think you're allowed to, like, hold the ball in two hands. Like, it has to be in one hand. And I don't think you can hold the ball while, like, moving.
Yeah, I think it has, like, the same rules as, like, Ultimate Frisbee, where you have to, like, pass it, and then the rest of the team can move, but the thrower has to stay put.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're allowed to move with the ball. You just, like, you have to, like, tap it forward with your hand and then swim.
Oh,
I
have
could
no
be
idea.
wrong. But
that's one of those sports that I don't think most of the general populace will be.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that you watch during the Olympics, but don't really keep track of.
Oh, yeah. Water polo. I love this sport. What's happening? I don't
you know what's weird? A sport that I love during the Olympics, but never watch any other time.
Table tennis.
I mean, I do watch table tennis at other times, so no.
Fucking nerd.
Boxing chess?
No. They don't have that at the Olympics. Anyway, no.
Well, they should. No.
They should add slapping to the Olympic.
Oh, dude. Some of those fucking videos, just watching these people go ham.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
No, is the curling.
Isn't it?
What?
I mean, I thought it was in, like, the Winter Olympics, but...
Yeah.
No, curling is... No, but that's what I'm saying. I watch it during the Olympics and love it, but I don't really keep track of it otherwise.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, I like curling, so that's...
Yo, okay. Really weird,
well, one of them.
Weird thing for you guys to know. Where I live, the local insurance company actually built a curling, like, stadium. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Don't know where the fuck it came from. It was just there one day.
That is kind of weird. Oh, yo, that's like there's a I don't know if they started play already or if they're starting next year or what, but there's a professional cricket league apparently starting in the U.S. and they're, I guess, have plans to build like what is allegedly going to be like the best cricket stadium in the U.S. like in a town called Buckeye, which is like south of where I live. Oh wait, you probably cut that out. In a town called Buckeye, which is in like the southwest of Phoenix, like outside of the town, or outside of like the actual Phoenix. But yeah, it's just like, it's just weird. I'm like, why are you building it out there instead of like in Phoenix if you're gonna build it? But
yeah,
I mean, also, there's people that like cricket in Phoenix.
There's enough people. There's enough people in the country, let alone that singular state, that they're building a stadium.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if it... I mean, if it happens, I'll probably go to a few games. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, there's also apparently an indoor soccer team coming to Phoenix, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's one here in Wisconsin, isn't there?
Yeah, Milwaukee Wave. Yeah.
You took us to that one night.
Yeah, they stream their games on Twitch. Hashtag not sponsored. Yeah, it's like
hashtag sponsor us.
I think it's MASL Soccer is the Twitch channels, and they have like, MASL Soccer 2, MASL Soccer 3, just because they stream like every game for all the teams. But yeah, so if you're ever looking for some soccer to watch, boom bam.
Fair enough.
Another sport that we should try to figure out how to make real is the game off of Final Fantasy X, Blitzball. The one where you're in the giant water orb.
Swimming through the water, yeah.
Yeah. Like, you could kind of do it, basically have like a giant water tank. You just have to figure out how to get like the ball to move and not, float up.
Don't they play it underwater, though?
They do.
Yeah,
and in the game, they don't have any breathing apparatuses.
Yeah, see
or breathing tanks.
So
you have to have like an actual breathing tank.
Yeah, but I mean, even with that seems a little dangerous.
I would say a lot about the sport. One, they are playing underwater. Yeah, it's going to be hard to do that. Two, this is a video game in a fantasy realm where there are crystals made of, actual elements. I mean, like fire and lightning.
I mean, we were talking about Quidditch.
Here's the thing. Well, no. So here's the thing.
Avatar's one.
if we could find a way to make a real life analog that might be cool, like just like a instead of underwater, it's like a water polo thing. You're swimming on top of the water or something. But yeah, it's just the fact that it's always underwater is what makes it dangerous.
Yeah, that's gonna make it a little hard to do.
Yeah. Just have an air tank, have
medics
what's and everything nearby, and just like all other sports.
Right,
you have to worry about overheating. You're underwater.
They just have to worry about drowning.
The thing
you have air tanks,
right? But if the air tank malfunctions,
you run out of air.
See
any number of things.
In any other non-mechanical sport, the people don't have like a reliance on a piece of technology to keep them safe. Like that only ever happens in motorsport.
I was about to say motorsport kind of.
Yeah,
but beyond that, that's like if a football player's helmet like cracks or something, they get a new helmet. They're fine.
Well, I mean, they might not be fine. But my point is, like, if the helmet malfunctions, like, they're not inherently in danger.
Yeah, they're not gonna die because the helmet,
whereas if you're underwater and your breathing apparatus fails, you're inherently in danger right away.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, you can probably figure out that your air thing isn't working. Maybe you could have like a sensor thing, but when it's like running out or it's not working, you could go to the top where there's air, and get help.
That relies on people recognizing their own level of equipment. Like, oh shit, I'm in danger, and and then
there'd be like training for that. It'd be like all other sports, like recognize the feeling of your body.
Right, but see,
and respond accordingly.
Then you have to, that's the thing. You have to first wait for somebody, either wait for somebody else to, pull you out, or for you to get yourself out before you can even get treatment. Whereas, like, say in American football, soccer, tennis, any of that kind of stuff, if you get hurt, somebody can immediately run over there and give you, medical assistance. Whereas if you're underwater, you have to be pulled out of the water before you can get assistance.
Yeah. Like,
and not to mention basically every second you're underwater is, like, just more and more danger. Whereas, like, if you twist your ankle playing soccer, like,
you're pulled off the field.
You being on the field for longer isn't putting you in any more danger. Whereas, like,
it's putting your ankle in danger, but...
Well, I mean, in a way, but, like, it's not nearly as bad. Like,
life-threatening.
If you're underwater and, say you collide with somebody, your apparatus breaks, you're knocked unconscious, like, that is a far more dangerous situation than, like, even a motorsport driver crashing into a wall. Because, like, the amount of time that it's going to take them to get to you is a lot worse, and, and any amount of time you spend down there is going to be bad. But, like...
There's too many variables in play when you're underwater to be an effective, like, safe haven.
Like I said, if there was
a way... You could have, like, a safety system where if your thing is broken, immediate
it jettisons you out of the water.
Lifts you out.
But, no, the air tank immediately releases all the air, shoots you up.
That, again, relies on a second piece of technology to keep you safe. Like, the point is that you don't want to rely on technology to ensure the safety of everyone. Like, at a certain point, yes, there is some reliance on technology, but you don't want it to be like, oh, well, if this mechanism doesn't work, then this mechanism will save you. Because then it's like, well, what if that mechanism doesn't work? Like... Like, they have, like, in American football, they have helmets. Like, you can still get a concussion and stuff. But, like...
Like, you can still play if
but it's like
piece of football equipment fails.
Well, my point is that, like, if your helmet doesn't protect your brain from getting turned to mush, there can at least be a doctor there to help you right away and give you treatment. Whereas, like... It's like, okay, the one thing failed, we can immediately step in and help. Whereas with this, if your breathing apparatus fails, you would still have to wait for the second mechanism, or hope that the second mechanism works. Because if that doesn't work, there's another step that you have to, like, go in and
again, with time, a lot of that technology can be, like, second nature.
Yeah, like, maybe someday there'd be a way to...
Well, yeah, like, I mean, I'm not talking about, like, it being, like, a today thing, but...
we're doing this tomorrow.
Day,
I don't know. I don't think it would ever be safe enough to be worth it.
Yeah.
But, at least underwater.
Or what about the game in Enderman that they play, where you're trying to get a person safely through the goal or shoot enough people to
like the
win?
Ender's Game thing? Yeah, I mean, if we had... See, that kind of thing I think would be cool. If we had the technology for zero-G. And I mean,
soon they want to build, like, colonies on the moon. We could have, like, zero-G sports.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and, like, the blitzball thing, like, if we did that, just zero-G instead of underwater, that would be cool.
Yeah, then there's a lot less safety features needed.
Yeah. It's just water is, like, inherently dangerous in that way.
But, as kind of a funny joke, if you guys ever wanted to know this, there is a lifeguard on duty during the Olympic swimming matches, so... If you ever feel your job is useless, just know that job exists.
Yeah. But see, I mean, that kind of makes sense, though, because, like...
Oh, no, like, you still want...
Like, anyone can get a random cramp, you know?
Yeah. But, like, the fact, like, all the images I've ever seen of the lifeguard on duty during the swimming matches, they're just sitting there, palm on their chin, just... Oh, why did I pick this job?
I mean, that's kind of every lifeguard I've ever seen.
I'm sure they're getting paid a fair amount, though.
Oh, they are, but, like, just knowing that unless if something major happened, they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
They are getting paid to
sit. If something does
there.
happen, then they're the hero of the whole thing.
I guess, yeah.
But anyway, you know what Olympic sport I hate?
What else?
I mean, what else? I've only talked about one. Well, I guess handball is an Olympic sport occasionally, but I hate that all the time, not just in the Olympics. No, what I hate is the equestrian events.
Oh yeah, that's
the horse riding bullshit. The fucking horse is doing all the goddamn work.
That's like fucking pet shows where like the mat or the trainer is getting, you know, no praise at all. Like, yeah, the dog did a lot of the work, but the trainer was the one that physically trained the dog to do that. We can't forget that shit.
I mean, I consider most dog shows to be immoral, but
that too.
Hey.
I mean, also because they also a lot of times like promote like selective breeding and stuff like that, which is super bad for dogs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you know, but bulldogs and pugs are like the most
a genetic abomination.
Yeah, they're like such fucked up creatures. Like, and it's not their fault. Like,
no.
You know, I don't hate the dogs. I feel bad for the dogs because like some of them
pity the animals.
Yeah, like some of them genuinely live their whole lives struggling because these
pugs are just trying to breathe, man, and all you hear is
brain dead people decided to keep bastardizing the gene pool until the fucking dog looks like it's smashed into a fucking glass
wall.
Yeah, just glass door, and you know, and pretty much all bulldogs end up having hip dysplasia, and you know, and shit like that. It's just, oh my god, it's so fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'm sure if anyone ever watches this or listens to this, I'm sure there'll be some people that comment, "Well, my bulldog is just fine." It's like, okay, great.
No, your bulldog's in pain.
Yeah.
At some point.
Exactly. Well,
almost every
and even the rare occasion where there isn't a direct medical issue with the dog, the risk, rate is much higher, and also that's one dog.
Yeah.
There is statistical evidence proving that bulldogs and pugs are some of the least healthy dogs.
Yeah, and like with a lot of the animals, how breeding has worked with specifically dogs is no matter what line you go down, every dog has been selectively bred to be like that. And not just pugs and bulldogs, but like Rottweilers all have, like Rottweilers, you cut the ears, you cut the tails, you fuck up that dog just because you want it to look a certain way. And as a matter of fact, my mom, she just had baby Rots, and the male dog's owner wanted to come over and do it, and he realized, he's like, you know what? Why are we still doing this? And he declined to crop the ears and cut the tail off. It's like, yes, because that was only needed. Yeah. And it was like at the time that a lot of this was happening, like back in the day, it was needed for specific reasons, but that still mutilates the dog.
Yeah, I've always thought it was really stupid, like the whole cutting a dog's tail off. I'm like, they fucking have that thing for a reason, dickhead. Or like, like when people declaw their cats, I always have a problem with that. I'm like, that's literally a defense mechanism for them to have claws.
And also part of their whole finger.
Well, yeah. I mean, and there's also proof. Like there's data to back up the claim that declawing a cat leads to a higher rate of like anxiety disorders and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, which is probably connected to the fact that that's a survival mechanism that you're taking away from them. Like.
Yeah. Well, and like.
I don't want my couch getting clawed up. Like, train your fucking cat better.
No, don't get a cat. But like,
or like I said, train them. You can train cats. Like,
yeah, like, well, my cat, whose name is Terabyte, and I absolutely love the motherfucker. I have yet to declaw him. I've seen him a couple times, like, struggle to remove his claws, but eventually he calms down. He knows how to pull them out. But like, one of my roommate's
cats,
cats,
a learning thing.
Yeah, but one of my roommate's cats, they had to declaw him because he was almost ripping them out himself. Like. That was more of a safety thing on his side, which it sucks that they had to do it, but that's probably one of the only times that's something that I would condone is if the cat is already risking its health by something like that, yeah, then that's the only time.
I mean, even then...
I mean, I've seen, products where, there's caps for the claws so you can, buy...
but...
make it safer.
And you can trim cats' claws and stuff like that like you do with,
again,
dogs. But...
It's still one of those things where, that's the only scenario I can truly see where something like that's acceptable to do.
I mean, I personally would still say that that's not...
Well, no, and...
it's still not the best solution. There are other solutions.
No, it's not, but...
Because here's the thing, too. As far as I understand, cats don't have the strength or weight behind them to actually rip out all of their claws. They might pull off a piece or have the claw break, but, they're not actually going to yank the whole thing out. They don't have the strength. It's kind of like how you can pull on your finger as hard as you friggin' want, and you're not going to pull it off. Because there isn't enough strength to do it.
Did you know that the human is actually capable of biting off their own tongue?
Well, yeah, biting. I know.
And your finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever have that urge? You just looking at your finger and you just.
Not really.
Yummy.
Oh.
Anyway, we're running
this. We've gotten off topic.
Yeah, I was saying we got way off topic.
I have one more thing to say about dog breeding, and that is that cat breeding as well, is that a lot of times purebred, air quotes, actually means that the animal has been inbred at least a few times.
Yeah.
So yeah, just remember that the next time you want a purebred fucking snickerdoodle. I don't know. I know that's a cookie. I know that's a cookie, not a dog breed.
I want a purebred snickerdoodle.
But you know what I mean, And that's
poodle. Let's go with a poodle.
That's not to say that purebred, air quotes purebred. That's not to say that breeds of dogs don't just naturally exist. Because there are healthier, there's dogs that are Labradors. The dog I'm taking care of is an Akita mix. And it's it's that kind of thing where it's yes, there are kind of generally dogs, basically that evolved based on where they live and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Huskies. Huskies are a great example of that.
Yeah, but it's it's when you go to the extreme and you're oh, let me see how small I can get this fucking Chihuahua.
Oh, I say fucking Chihuahuas. Ugh.
And shit like
Devil
that.
Dogs.
That's just... Yeah, I think it was Gabriel Iglesias made a joke about that, about it's basically just you boiled away everything that made it a dog and just left an angry husk.
You pulled away its happiness, its hair, and now it's just an angry entity. I hope you're happy with this.
But yeah, so dog breeding bad. If you do it, you're probably bad. Don't, you're free to have a different opinion on it, but that's my opinion.
You're free to have a wrong opinion.
Yeah. Wait, I was told I wasn't allowed to say that.
You.
Hang on a minute.
Not to you.
But yeah.
All right.
So one more thing about sports I wanted to mention is, so I don't know if you guys watch volleyball at all.
Not really, no.
Not very often.
Well, if you ever want to, there's this thing called Athletes Unlimited, which is really fucking cool. Currently, they only have women's leagues, but apparently they have plans in the future to also introduce men's leagues once they can kind of get a foothold in. But basically, the way they run it is instead of there being a championship team, what they do is the league hires and pays every athlete, and every week they do a draft, basically. Basically have the top 4 players, in terms of points, draft teams, kind of schoolyard style. It's I want this person, cool, your turn. I want this person, your turn. They do that kind of thing, basically, so that you can't just have one team that's just dominant season after season just because they have all the money. So they do that, and they have a point system based on your in-game performance, and bonus points for winning and stuff like that, which is really fucking cool. So it's like
I feel like that's a little more like cutthroat at that point, because then everyone's trying to score for their own scoring.
But see, the biggest points you get is from winning. So like, you are trying to perform better yourself, but like, you get more points for, for working as a, or for like winning. So like, at a certain point, it's like, we need to win. Like basically you're like, well, I could, like in volleyball, you're like, well, I could try to, try to spike this and, maybe get myself 12 points. But, but if they block it, it's like I'm not the greatest hitter, so if they block it, then the other, then we lose out on the 60 points that I would get for us winning as a team. So instead I'll set it, kind of thing.
That's fair.
But yeah, so there's definitely reasons to just play, as a team. But yeah, at the end of the season, it's like whoever has the best individual score is the winner. But yeah, they also have softball, lacrosse, and basketball, I think. And I think they're planning on expanding into other sports as well. But yeah, it's just a really cool, like, different way of doing sports that
like individualistic
really cool
team sports.
Yeah, it's like the kind of thing of like, you're in it for yourself, but again,
it benefits everyone.
But again,
to do
you want
better.
to win, and they also split it up to where like in the volleyball, like each set that you win, you get like 40 points or something, and then if you win the whole, like if you win the match as a whole, you get like 60 points. So like,
fair.
Even if the first team, like even if one team wins like the first 3 sets or whatever, you still have a reason to keep trying to win the remaining sets, so it keeps the game competitive the whole way through. So that's really awesome.
Fair.
But yeah, Athletes Unlimited, I recommend going and checking that out. Also, hashtag not sponsored. I genuinely really enjoy watching it, and I want more people to discover it because it's actually super fucking cool.
Hashtag a lot of non-sponsorships on this podcast.
Hashtag there's going to be a lot of shit to deal with.
Hashtag have fun editing this.
Yeah, I would say, editor, I will be quite upset if you cut out the Athletes Unlimited part. So,
absolutely will.
So please don't do that.
Absolutely will cut it out.
So you can cut out any of the other shit, just not that part.
So we're just making it a 5-minute clip with just that statement.
No, I'm saying you can edit out anything else you want. Just don't edit out that part, because I genuinely want to support them.
That's what I mean. This whole podcast is just going to be that statement.
Yeah.
Anyway, so did we actually have any tips for this one, or?
I mean, my only tip would be like to explore obscure sports and stuff that you haven't thought about watching before. Or, like, revisit sports that you didn't used to like. Like, when I was younger, I thought volleyball was for girls, and it was easy, and all that kind of crap. Then I played volleyball, and I was wrong. That shit is exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out there's a lot of jumping involved.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, just try some new sports, or revisit sports that you haven't watched or played in a while. Maybe you like them now.
Yeah.
I was waiting for somebody else to do another tip, It's kind
of get to making real life Quidditch.
I didn't think that you were done yet.
Get to making real life Quidditch. That's my tip.
Yeah, but don't.
Mine was going to be along that.
But don't make it shit. Make it a real life analog of Quidditch. Don't try to fucking carbon copy it, because it doesn't work. Fucking idiots.
And no fucking hoverboards. I swear to God I see one hoverboard on that fucking field.
Only the ref has a hoverboard.
I'd almost be okay with that. Anyway, Kyle?
I was going to basically say, try to think of your own sports and see if you can go and make them a reality.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's down. I've
especially if you can find inspiration from like other video games or movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, you can find all of our other links at linktree.com/procrastinationnationstudio.
You son of a bitch. You're taking my thing now.
I'm gonna try. Anyway, bye.
Outrageous.
Bye.
Outrageous. Bye.